Hi Virgo, welcome to your October 2022 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Virgo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you, especially these monthly videos, because whenever I talk about the astrology of the lunations, I'm always talking about your ascendant sign first, to a lesser degree but still very relevant, your sun and your moon. With that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and interactions with the world at large over the course of October 2022, you have the Two of Swords. So you got the Two of Swords here as your actions card, right? This month, it's very likely that you're going to be making some decisions that may put you at odds with some other people. This might be a time where maybe you're just like, you know what, I'm charging ahead with this because this is what I feel I'm supposed to be doing right now. And you might get a little bit of resistance. The other way that this could play out for you as well, this might be a month where you are... It's not even so much that you're delving into your intuition. It's more just a case of you're trusting yourself above all and everything else. And if anything, you know, one thing about Virgo people, you can never say that they're selfish. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen because there's always exceptions to the rule. But most of the time, everything that Virgo people do, there's an element of it being good or decent or right for everybody. This month, however, you might just be wanting to pursue something because you want to, because you want it for yourself, but like whatever it might be, you're very, very focused on this. And it's kind of like, you know, consequences, other people's feelings or whatever be damned. I'm not interested in censoring or tempering what it is that I want or how I go after it for other people. And you know what? Fair play to you. Good for you. Like you, yeah, own it. Own it, girl. Then you've got the Two of Pentacles in your communications and conversations, especially where it comes to your finances, your money and your resources. Again, usually you guys tend to be very fair. And there might be something this month that maybe you have a conversation with someone and they're like, well, that comes across as a bit self-centered or a bit selfish. And you're like, I'm not budging from that viewpoint. I don't care what anybody else thinks or feels about it. Now, that Two of Pentacles, this month you are having a lot of conversations potentially about money, finances, resources. For some of you, especially because you've got the Two of Swords there, this could be a month where maybe you're having a bit of a discussion around finances that potentially causes a problem or an issue. Now, also, because you've got two twos here, two twos represents a bond, a pact or an accord. Interestingly enough, the number 2 has come up almost like well, not unanimously, but it's been very active throughout all of the cards this month. You know, multiples of 2 coming up. The High Priestess has come up. Not the High Priestess. The Justice card has come up several times as well. So there's a lot of 2/dual energy in the air. This could be a month where you are forming partnerships, bonds, contracts, and collaborations, but maybe you're seeking something that feels a bit better for you. And you know, maybe you're saying, actually, you know what, if I'm going to do this or if I'm going to be a part of this connection, here's what I want out of it. So you know what, it kind of feels for me like you're standing up for yourself more than you usually do, and anyone that takes a problem or a gripe with that is not your people. For your heart and half sector, you have the Queen of Swords. So for those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, there's potentially a hard conversation to be had about money or resources this month with a significant other. And I don't think this is because money is a problem in the household. It might be that you want to buy something or purchase something. And that's why I'm laughing, because it actually feels like that. Like Virgo's like, no, I want this, I'm buying it. Your partner might be like, why? Like, you literally don't need this, or it's not fit for purpose, or maybe I've read a million reviews. That's me. You know, and you know, you don't want this one, you want a different one. And you're like, no, I want what I want because I say I want it, because I've decided that this is the right thing or item or whatever it is for me. So if you are having a problem or a clash with a partner this month, like I said, I don't think it's necessarily the money itself. I think it's the item, and where like usually you'd be like, oh yeah, actually, you know what, it's probably not fit for purpose, or you'd be not maybe like you would defer to them, but you'd be a bit more acquiesceable to opening up a dialogue about it. Whereas this month you're really not interested in that at all. And so what? You know, everybody gets like that sometimes. Now, that being said, it is the Queen of Swords, which does suggest that you and your partner will both not be backing from your stance on something. So you're going to have to find a happy medium or a balance here somewhere. When it comes to those of you that are single, honestly, if you're meeting somebody in the throes of what is a very difficult situation for them or a dispute that they are going through, pay attention. And the reason I say that is because you're going to see what this person's potentially some of what their worst or heavier or harder traits to deal with are going to be. This is a month specifically for you Virgos, where when people show you who they are or how they really can behave, and I'm talking specifically here in a relationship context, as in like a personal intimate relationship, pay attention to that, because you're going to be getting a glimpse into, if this ever goes sour between us, this is the person that I'll be dealing with. And you know, it would be worth knowing that. Now, that being said, if you are single and you are getting into a relationship or you're meeting someone, it's probably likely to be an air sign. Yeah, just putting that out there. For your money and materials, you have the Seven of Pentacles. I love this card because as you can see there, it's the Seven Pentacles over and aligned with or through the chakras, which I think is a beautiful idea. This actually speaks to slow growth. All right, so the money that you need is available to you. All of your needs are met this month, but there may not be any surplus. There might not be any extra money. There might not be money to save. There might not be money to put into a pot, or there might not be money to buy a luxury item. Maybe for those of you that are partnered, this is why your partner is trying to deter you from having this thing. However, there should always be a budget for treats. All right, so just manage it this month. The other thing as well, because it's the Seven of Pentacles, you may be getting results from something that you're working on, or you know, trying to create more money with, but it might not be happening at the speed or the pace that you would like. And for that reason, it's wise not to overextend financially this month. I'm not saying I agree with your partner, because I totally believe that, you know, sometimes we should be able to buy something just because we want it. But maybe hear the word of caution or question that's in their voice. For your first week of the month, look at this, you've got the Sun card. So where everybody else is having a little bit of a challenging time, this first week of the month is probably going to be quite nice to you. And very quickly, the decision that you decide to embark on, everybody else be damned, is actually going to reveal itself to be a very wise move. So as quickly as it comes up and your partner's like, oh, well, you know, why are you doing this? Yes, your finances could be a little bit shaky this month. It's possible. Or maybe it's not that they're shaky. It's more that maybe your financial income or your resources is not growing at the speed that you would like. But growth is still growth. But whatever it is that you're doing, even if nobody, you know, you're not being met with the greatest or the most welcoming sort of energy, it's quickly revealed that you made the right choice. For your second week of the month, you've got the Strength card. All right, so you've got this underneath the Two of Pentacles. So you are having to make an executive decision this month. Like when it comes to whatever it is that you're planning to do or whatever it is that you're trying to get off the ground, even if it is met with resistance or it doesn't quite get the traction that you hope, you have to stick to this path anyway. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, those are very strong, and they're possibly very strong subjects or topics at this time as well. You've got the Strength card with the Sun card. That's a big boost of solar energy. So this first sort of 2 weeks or the first half of the month, there's a big sort of amount of energy that is working in your favor, but it is requiring real guts for you to go after something. As we come into the third week of the month, you've got the Emperor card with the Queen of Swords. So there are potentially some intense conversations being had this month about money, finances, and or resources. Potentially with your significant other. For those of you, if you're meeting somebody this third week of the month, like I said, likely to be an air sign. This person is obviously very intelligent. They may not be in their best, they might not be presenting as the best version of themselves at this point. So, like I said, also though, as sort of calculating as that might seem, pay attention. Like if you've just started dating somebody and it's horrible that they're going through a challenging time, but if you see them get sort of like really facetious and really mean, and you think to yourself, okay, if one day things go sour between us, am I going to get that person as well? This is a time to pay attention to those kinds of things. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, you and your partner are definitely fighting for something this month. And I don't feel like it's like you're battling each other or you're fighting each other. It's more a case of like, you're saying, no, I want this thing. I know it's the right thing for me to buy or to purchase because I want it and that's what I've decided I want or I need. And your partner's like, well, it's not the best one and it's not da-da-da-da-da-da. It's like they come up with a million reasons why you shouldn't do this thing. And in the end, it will be revealed to you anyway that you were right all along. So I know a lot of Virgos out there right now are like, I'm always right, Raf. What are you talking about? Yeah, okay, most of the time you are. It's, I'll give you your dues where they're due. For your fourth week of the month, you've got the Devil card. So there is a lot of earth in these cards, all right, first of all. So that does suggest a stagnancy or a slowdown with the money or the resources. Now, the one place that I do potentially agree with your partner or somebody that's telling you to think about a purchase is this. The Devil card itself can represent what we're trapped by. So be sure, like I said, I feel like it will come good, but at the same time, if you're tying yourself to like a 36-month contract, I hate this. Like here in the UK, it's really hard to get any phone contract that's like under 24 months, under 36 months. I won't do it to myself. I don't like the idea of being tied to anything for 3 years, unless it's a relationship, in which case, I'd be totally open to that. But do you know what I mean? Like outside of that, oh no, 3 years, that's awful. Why would I do that to myself? This could be something like that, all right? So just keep your wits about you. Now, when it comes to your lunations, on October the 25th, we have the new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio, which for you is in your third house. This is all to do with your communication, how you communicate with others, which is potentially a little bit awry this month. It's not a bad eclipse, I have to say. I was a little bit worried about it at first, but the more I look at it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. It's the November one that I can bleep, bleep, bleep. Anyway, this is in the third house. Now remember, eclipses unpack over time, over 3 to 6 months. Because of this activation, you're likely to see. But what I always say to people is the day before, the day of, and the day after, pay attention to what's happening at that time, because you're going to see what will unfold as a result of that eclipse. And that works universally, whether it's a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse, now, because it is in the third house, this could initiate, for some of you could discover you have a sibling that you didn't even know that you had. For some of you, as a result of this, siblings could become a lot more prominent within your life. It may also be that your local environment goes through some sort of shift or change, or you start interacting with your local environment or neighborhood on a more sort of on a larger scale in some way. And your card for this is the Gate 46 and Serendipity. There are blessings to be found in your location and your locality. This would be a good month to explore the place that you live in. Go to new places or new parts of town. Go walking in various different places. At times it's safe and all the rest of it. For your lunation, you've got the full moon in sign of Aries on the 9th of October, so around this time, is happening for you in the 8th house of other people's money, other people's finances, taxes, you know, how you make money or collect money from the world in order to bring it inward. This can also be your partner's money and or resources as well. So there's obviously something around that needs to be talked about. I don't feel like it's a massive issue, to be honest with you. You saw most of the time I was laughing about it. I actually feel like it would be one of those, you know, like almost like a caricature moment where you're both like, nah, 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 nah. And it's like, this is ridiculous. We're literally going nowhere and it's not that deep. However, if you let it go too far, it could potentially become that deep. All right. Now, it is a full moon in the 8th house. This could also be highlighting to you a place of fear, or should I say something that you are doing that's coming from a place of fear. It's highlighting this for you so that you can see it in the light of day and say, okay, you know what, this thing might be getting in the way of me. And it could really give you a deep glimpse, the full moon shining a light on some deep aspect of your psychology, the 8th house. For this, of course you do. You've got the gate 39 and provocation. And the message behind this card is it'll be someone or something that pisses you off enough to make a change. So you might see this and say, actually, you know what I really need to be aware of here? Like this full moon, it might be something that somebody says to you. It might be something, and it really grates to the point where you're like, okay, I need to look at why this is making me so angry. And then you realize, okay, there's a grain of truth in this. Or actually, you know what, although the way that they delivered that message, it really sucks, and you know, whatever, the core of what they're saying actually really is important for me to know or to acknowledge. So these moons, I think these moons are going to be quite powerful for you guys. There's a lot of fire here and a lot of earth. Now, what do I always say when there's such a balance of those two elements? Earth and fire, bring my desire. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.